Trade what you see with Larry Pesavento. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648 or internationally at 727-873-7618. Now, Larry Pesavento.
Okay, looking good, Billy Ray. Feeling good, Lewis. I posted a chart here, a picture, of folks eating at a restaurant in Hong Kong. This is how they do it now, folks. They take these cardboard boxes, put them in partitions, and they eat separately. It's really a scary thing, but, it doesn't seem to doesn't be scared about what's going on over there. All I know is the people over there are not very happy, and they are scared. So we'll see what's going on. Folks, I want to tell you a little story here. We always talk about, politics sometimes in our lives, and once in a while on TFNN they mention it. But by golly, there's an old cowboy here in town that we play poker with here on the third Thursday of every month. And last week, last in January, we were playing, and we were talking about politics, and he said to the table, he said, "Look, guys," he said, "let me tell you a story." He said, "There was this beautiful wife of one of the ranchers," he said, "many years ago, and he was killed on a cattle drive, and so she had to run the ranch herself. And so what she had to do is she had to hire a ranch hand to run the foreman part of the business. And so she had two choices. She could pick a gay cowboy, or she could pick a cowboy that was a known drunk. And she decided to go with the gay guy because it would be more, he would be more, what would we call it, on time and be more reputable. So that's what he did. And for the first couple of months, everything went really smoothly, working day and night, getting everything done. And finally she said to him, "Look, we worked really hard. Why don't you take Saturday night off and go into town and have some fun?" And so he said, "I'm going to do it." And so, by golly, 1 o'clock came Sunday morning, and he still wasn't home. 2 o'clock, he still wasn't home. Finally, he comes in around 2 o'clock in the morning, and she's standing there by the fireplace drinking a glass of wine, and she says, "Come over here." And she said to him, "Take off your boots." He says, she did. And he says, "Take off the skirt." He takes off the skirt. He says, "Take off the blouse." And he did. And she says, "The next time you go into town wearing my clothes, you're going to be fired." And that's what you want to remember when you're talking about politicians, folks, because you never know what kind of outfit they're going to be wearing. So be very careful about that stuff. Let's get on to the markets. Folks, we got Bitcoin is flying today, 10,300 and change, looking pretty good. We also have let's take a look at the DAX. We had a really nice move in the DAX last night. We'll take a look at this 4-hour chart. You'll see that it's moving up into this area right here. And if you folks don't believe that's a true story, you just don't have any belief in the old cowboys here in Tucson. By the way, Tucson was formed in 1865, folks. The biggest city in Arizona at that time was Tombstone. That was the big, where the OK Corral, where all the silver mines were. If you ever get over there, it's really cool to take a look at it. All right, let's move on to the next one. We want to take a look at the Amarillo Slim, the old poker player, came into town about 15 years ago to play poker with us, and he bought dinner for everybody that night. There were about 40 people playing, and he signed autographs, and we bought his book, and it was really a lot of fun. Let's take a look here at the DAX on the weekly basis, because we are up in the area, of some really big patterns going up in here. We'll be able to see. All right, that rancher's name actually that we play poker with, his name is Smokey, and you'll never guess why. He uses snuff all the time. All right, let's move on here and move on to you can see here that the FTSE's been, acting pretty strongly. We got a couple of things. Let's look at the daily FTSE here because it's a little weaker than the DAX. We'll just bring this up here to take a look at it. And we will have Stan Harley as our guest. And remember, on Friday, we're going to have Tim Boston. We hope to have a cameo appearance by Tom Hugard coming in before the markets open on the Friday at around 9:10 in the morning. We're hoping to have Tom come in and give us a little talk here. So that's what we're watching here this morning. Okay, now let's move on to the next one here. And that is, I wanted to show you. We remember, folks. We were talking about the natural gas. Let's just put this to bed right now. This is the natural gas contract we were waiting for. We got down to that level at 175. We were buying at 176. We're now trading at about 182. So that has a profit in it. Boys and girls, you put your stop at break even and let it rip. You don't know if this is the bottom or not, but now you don't have any risk. You took risk yesterday and it paid off. So what you want to do now is you don't want to take any more risk. So you put your stop at break even and see if it's going to work. If it works, fine. If not, we'll look at it another time. But the whole key is to not lose any money, and this is what we don't want to do, is to look how bad it would be, folks, after rallying 10 cents to come down and make new lows. You want to be in that? Hello? I don't think so. So make sure you put your stop in at break even and see that you're able to at least hold on to it and keep your sanity during these times for sure. Now we've got another one that really needs our attention today. We've been talking about it a long time, and that is the wheat market. Let's just get this wheat market up here. Here's where we are. We had that big ABCD3 drive up at 594. That's when Mr. Z was in there saying we're going to be selling at 591. That turned out to be okay. You had the market come up. We stopped exactly at the 61% retracement yesterday, folks. We're trading at around 541 this morning, as I believe. So that should hold. And you can see they were extremely oversold over the last 2 weeks. We've dropped from 564 down to 538. So that's a very, very oversold market. So we should get some type of a rally. The $64 question is, how much of a rally are we going to be? And is this big ABCD pattern in there that measures down to 518 going to be valid? Well, I will tell you this. If you get below 537, in other words, 4 cents from where we were just a little while ago, I would not want to be long that, because those ABCD patterns have a tendency, especially when they're really strong moving down move, you'll know it. And we don't know what's happening with these things in these markets. I mean, heck, nobody does. That's the real key to, why we're looking at these things. So let's pay attention to that. We had one other one that looks interesting, and that was someone's asked a question about the silver. Just doesn't look very good, folks. It really doesn't. That's another one that we have to be concerned about. But we got another one that's acting pretty good from our good friend Mr. Z when he was buying the British pound down there at that 129 level. We know that was very good support. You'll notice that we came down and we took out the previous week's low by just about 15 pips and then immediately reversed full handle. So if you're in that one, the same rules applies in the British pound that applies with the natural gas. If you've got a $600 profit in it, don't let it go. He said he did. I say March week would top at 593. Oh, all we were talking about. Sorry, Mr. Z, I thought you did, but we were looking at that ABCD pattern is what we were watching. That's all we were watching. 593. Yeah, oil is looking pretty good. It's going to be. I imagine oil is going to have a heck of a run today. Yep, it is. We're having a nice run in oil. This is what we're expecting here, and we've broken out to the upside. So let's take a quick look at some of these things here. 877-927-6648.
If you're not currently using the TAS Profile Scanner when looking at setting up your trading opportunities, then your arsenal is short a mighty weapon. The TAS Profile Scanner is a standalone piece of software that instantly filters over 2,500 global financial markets such as stocks, ETFs, commodity futures, and Forex. Headed by Steve Dahl, TAS understands that in today's technological world, the use of top-flight software applications and technical analysis expertise is essential to successful trading in today's market. You also gain access to the webinar that Steve Dahl and Tom O'Brien just hosted, The Best Way to Use the TAS Profile Scanner to Profit. This webinar archive is available for all subscribers immediately upon signing up. All new subscriptions also come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. Start your subscription by visiting the front page of TFNN.com today, and you'll find the TAS Profile Scanner under the Services tab. Sign up today. Are you in the market for buying or selling real estate in the Bay Area, including the surrounding St. Petersburg, Tampa, and Clearwater markets? Tiger Real Estate LLC is a firm that has extensive experience in the Tampa Bay area. Whether you're looking to sell your current property for maximum value, or you're in the market for a second home or investment property, Tiger Realty has the experience across all areas of real estate in the Tampa Bay area to help buyers and sellers make the most informed decisions across all price levels. From the price you should be paying per square foot in certain up-and-coming areas to the type of cash flow investment properties are capable of creating, Tiger Real Estate can help you make the best decision when it comes to all areas of the market. Before you make one of the biggest decisions of your financial future, call Tiger Real Estate LLC today at 727-329-8322 or email us at tiger@tfnn.com. That's 727-329-8322. Call us today.
Many of our new listeners have heard about The Tiger's Den. The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of the TFNN shows, plus see all of the charts as they happen live and have access to archives of all of those charts. You can test drive The Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days and greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets and how to make your money work for you. Details on The Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com.
TFNN has launched our brand new website. You can still visit us at the same TFNN.com URL, but when you do, you'll see a new and improved homepage with a much simpler navigation, whether you're watching Tiger TV live in high definition or just accessing your newsletter subscriptions. We even have new pricing in 6 months and yearly options. Check out the new TFNN.com now and experience all the upgrades. TFNN.com, educating investors.
Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-873-7618.
Okay, folks, I posted the chart of the crude oil. We've been expecting a little bit of a rally here because we've been so oversold. Well, we've got up to this 51.50. This is a key level, folks. If we can get this market above $52 a barrel today, it's going to look like a breakout, but you got to be really careful because this is just the fourth day of a four-day rally when we were testing the lows again yesterday at 49.60. So we've jumped $2 a barrel, mainly because of Russia saying that they're cutting back production or whatever they're doing. Who knows? We'll have to do one thing at a time. One thing that's really surprising to me, folks, I was looking at Bloomberg this morning because I saw that the VIX index was down 3% and it was still trading at 14. My goodness, we've got the Dow Jones almost at 30,000. You'd think the VIX would be at 1. Because it used to be at 9. That's when when the Dow Jones was at 25,000. So somebody's taking some kind of protection in here. Who they are, I don't know. But that's a heck of a difference. I was really surprised to see that. That was very, very interesting. Another market that is really, really important today, and that is the British pound, the Treasury bonds, boys and girls. The Treasury bonds absolutely, positively must hold 61.13 in the March T-bonds. And if they don't, that's going to be very, very negative, and they could be looking at a whole lot of problems if they don't do that. So pay attention to that. That's a very important number below that level. Another level that's really important in that Treasury bond is they must get above 62.10. The reason why I'm saying that is we've had a nice correction down to the 61% retracement. Let's see if we can bring this up to let you folks take a look at it, and you'll be able to see it. I think I can do this on an hourly chart without too much trouble. There we are. We'll get this up here so you can take a quick look at it, and you'll be able to see these numbers, what I'm talking about, and that'll give you an idea of whether these will hold or not. Let's get up here and take a look at it. We want to take a look at Dr. Copper from Dennis in New York. So let's get old Dr. Copper up here on the old chart. thing, and it starts with the GHG, so we could get Dr. Copper up and see what it looks like. It's having a little bit of a rally. We call this in technical parlance a dead cat bounce. Let's get this up here, and boy, that is a dead cat. But it has some possibilities here. Let me get this up here for you, Dennis, and we'll take a quick look at it, and we'll look at it all together. Get this up here so we'll be able to bring this up and take a quick look at it here. There we go. Oh, it's been very good to you. Well, everything's good to you, Mr. Z. We see what trades you put on. They whack you once in a while, but leave me not too much. We've had a pretty good rally here off the bottom. We went from 250. We rallied 10 cents a pound. The key level to watch, Dennis, is if we can get it above 264, that would be a real positive sign. But if we don't get above 264, and we've been rallying now, you see, since the 3rd, so we're into a 10-day rally here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 trading day rally. And if we don't get above 265 pretty quickly, this is going to be a very, very bearish pattern. I know it's been very, very good to you, but this could be a bearish pattern at 265, so I would watch that very closely. The reason for that is, and if you look at the chart closely, you'll see that you have a really nice ABCD pattern there that lines up perfectly with the 265, what happens to be 264.5 happens to be the exact 38% retracement. And if markets are really bearish, they don't get much better than 38% retracement. So those are just a few of the things that we're watching here this morning. So sort of pay attention to that. I think it'll be important to watch over the next few days. In fact, it's one of the things we'll be watching over the weekend as we do the letter here and watch some of these things that are happening here. Let's move on to the next question. Get this out of the way here. Let's take a quick look at copper on the long-term basis here. Wow, they've really hammered this copper quite a bit. Look at the long-term here, folks, where we are in copper. That bottom, we made a double bottom there. From way back in August, that's when the protests started in Hong Kong. So this is really important support. And above 265, you have to be bullish the copper, because that means that it's got a chance to go a lot more. We're only in the second week of the rally, and that started on 3rd of February. So we'll pay close attention to that one as we look at it. Regarding the situation in Hong Kong, folks, some of the people just don't even get out of the house. One of the people in the house, if there's 2 people, they go to get food, and they stay there all the time. They're working at home. Attorneys and doctors, of course, have to go to the hospital and stuff, but everybody else that can will work out. The restaurants, the few that are open, are they're very sparsely visited by people most of the time. So things are not being reported like you think they would be if you were looking at the news like this. I mean, over here, we don't even seem to be concerned about it at all. And yet over there, it's basically, pretty much life or death. And it is life or death. So I just don't know. The news is it's so biased either way that you don't really know. So have to do one thing or another. We'll have to wait and see. When President Sanders gets in, maybe he'll be able to, get it all taken care of. But we'll have to wait to see if he gets in, and then we'll have to know from there. I noticed that we've got a chance here on this natural gas. If we can break out above this 185 level today, folks, that would be a very, very positive sign if we could do that. I mean, we're trading at 183.80 right now, but if we can get about 185, 186, it's got a really good chance for a really nice move to the upside. So that's another one that, we seem to be on the right side of this, at least for the day. We bought it yesterday, and actually we bought it Monday, didn't we? We bought it Monday at 76, and here we are on Wednesday, and it's starting to act right. So we'll see if it's going to hold on. No, we did buy it yesterday. Sorry about that. And that's not a bad move, for 9 points in one day with 9 $900, so that's pretty good. Okay, let's move on here to the next one. And another coffee is having a small bounce. Also, Bob, we're up to that 101 area. We got down to as low as 96, so we are getting a little bit. We're not seeing any. The news yesterday on that wheat was it was a negative report. So keep an eye on the wheat. It should have really strong support, folks, at the 540 level. At 536, you don't have anything to do with it. So you don't have to risk very much to be a wheat farmer if you're going to take a look at that one today. That's one that we talked about yesterday. We looked at the patterns. I showed it to you this morning, and that's all I know. I don't know anything other than that. And that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. So we'll watch that one also as we move through these different things that we're looking at today. Okay, we're going to take a little break, and then we're going to have Stan, who calls it like it is, Harley, with the Harley stock market letter, is going to be our guest at the break, who's always very, very interesting, got good stuff. He's going to talk to us about the Gans Rule of 4 and some other things that he's got on his plate that he thinks that we will like, and I know we will. So we'll have Stan Harley on, and when we come up to the break here in just a few moments, and we'll hear the music coming here pretty quickly, and we'll get back to you in about 4 minutes after the break, and we'll be back on the air.
Larry Pesavento has just started his brand new service, Fibonacci 24/7, and he's already delivering content to his subscribers on a daily basis when the market's opened and even on weekends. Each Monday, you'll receive Larry's written report that provides detailed commentary and a summary on the charts and videos that Larry sends out. And throughout the week, when warranted, Larry will send out via charts or videos or both the key markets that he is watching during the day. This will be up-to-the-date, active trading information that will help you in your daily trading. In Larry's first week alone, he sent out 25 charts, 6 videos, and a full report to his subscribers in just 1 week. If you're a technical trader that uses patterns and retracements to trade, then Larry's service Fibonacci 24/7 is something that you must try. Right now, new subscribers can get a full 30-day money-back guarantee. With nothing to risk, sign up now to Larry Pesavento's Fibonacci 24/7 by visiting the front page of TFNN.com under Trading Newsletters. If you're a trader in the market looking to find the path that leads to maximizing profits while decreasing risk, then now is a great time to try out Dave White's daily trading service, The Path of Least Resistance. Through the use of options and equity trades, Dave advises his subscribers on a daily basis of the current market conditions and what possible trade setups are on the horizon. The Path of Least Resistance is published every trading morning, often with updates intraday when initiating trades or closing out positions. Dave White has advised his clients of some outstanding winning options and equity trades in recent months, and now is a great time to try it out for yourself. New subscribers to the Path of Least Resistance receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. See for yourself the types of options and equity trades that are available by signing up for the Path of Least Resistance today by visiting the front page of TFNN.com and selecting the newsletter tab. Sign up today. TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, Butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Okay, we're back, folks, and we're talking with Stan Harley of the Harley Stock Market Letter. Stan, how are you doing today, my friend?
Good morning, Larry. Just doing awesome here from Scottsdale, Arizona.
Ah, bet you are. With that rain you had yesterday, that was really nice, wasn't it? We don't get that too often.
It really came down here, yes.
Yeah, same thing. Stan, start out with today. You wanted to talk about this Gann Rule of 4 breakout, but we have a question from one of our listeners in Tucson, Arizona, by the name of Larry, who would like to ask your opinion on the volatility index trading at around 14, given the fact that the stock market's near 30,000. Do you have any feeling about that? Because usually that would be down around 6, I would think, with the market as bullish as it is.
Volatility is low, to be sure, and volatility tends to contract as the market moves higher. It's not bounded by any limits, so what it is, it's an expectation of what options traders think the volatility is likely to be over the next 12 months.
Oh, okay, good.
I think traders put a little too much into it. If VIX does this, the market must do thus. I look at it, but it's not high in my toolkit, Larry.
Okay, good. Well, I know we hadn't mentioned it before, so I didn't think that it was. Do you want to? I'm sorry for interrupting. You go ahead, Sam. It's your show, buddy.
Well, the market's going higher. Let's look at this first chart, which you have on the screen. That's the S&P 500. And you and I have talked about this pattern over the last several months. W.D. Gann, maybe 100 years ago, observed a pattern which he called his rule of 4, and that is that occurs when a market or an index or a stock or a commodity moves up into an area of resistance, and that resistance can be horizontal, it can be upward sloping, and the first 3 attempts at that overhead resistance level fail, and then the market turns down, and then a lot of people will scream triple top, it's all done. But the market then comes up one more time on the 4th attempt, and that's make or break time. If the market fails to break through on that 4th attempt, well, it tends to collapse. On the other hand, if the market or an index breaks through on that 4th attempt, punches through on the upside, it tends to run and just doesn't look back. And that's exactly what we're seeing right now. We're just rocking and rolling to the upside.
And we're also seeing at the next chart you had is the New York Stock Exchange Index is also doing pretty much the same thing, isn't it?
Exactly. I track what I call the Big Five, Larry. I look at the Dow Industrials, the Dow Transports, the New York Composite, the S&P 500, and the NASDAQ Composite. And I want to see all 5 of those moving in gear. And right now, we've got 3 out of the 5 components in record high territory. I think we will see the New York Composite maybe today push into record high ground. Right now, we have the NASDAQ, the S&P, and the Dow in record high territory. My gut says that the NYA will punch through probably today. You can see that horizontal line of resistance inducing the rule of 4 pattern. While it was mildly upward sloping for the S&P and the Dow, it's horizontal for the NYA, and you can see clearly the 4th attempt broke through, and boy, we've just been rocking and rolling to the upside. We had a little pullback in January. I thought it might be a little bit more than that. It was so brief. If you blinked, you missed it. This market's like trying to hold a balloon underwater.
Boy, it sure is. That's for sure. Stan, the next one you wanted to talk about was the Treasury bonds.
The bonds, yes, and I heard you talking about it about 20 minutes ago. The bonds are exhibiting. It appears to me we could have a very similar rule of 4 pattern set up as well in the Treasury bonds.
Now, Stan, the chart that you've got here is from October. I see the bottom. It's listed as October. It shows February 11th, but it's I see. It's a weekly chart, Stan. Now I understand. Each of these 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20 is each year, isn't it? My goodness.
Yes.
And if I add one more year, it'll be 21, won't it? See, boy, there's no holding me back now. Now I understand this mathematics. I'm sorry, my friend. Go right ahead.
It goes back to 2015, Larry. And what I've done is I've drawn a horizontal line, and I failed to write it when I sent you the chart last night, but that horizontal line is at 162 and 16/30 seconds. Mm-hmm. And that line has induced resistance on the 30-year bond chart going back for the last 5 years. And I've labeled points 1, 2, and 3 attempts to break through that line. We popped a little bit above, but then we broke right back below that line. I think this is going to be another classic rule of 4 setup. I'm looking for the rally in bonds to essentially stall out right out in here. And I heard you sort of hinting at that about 20 minutes ago. Not looking for a big move down, but basically some structure beneath the line. It will probably span several months. And then point number 4, maybe coming towards the end of this year, and we break through and boom, boom, boom to the upside. That's kind of how I see it, Larry.
Well, you've certainly been seeing it right in the stock market and bond market so far, Stan. My golly, you've been your ranking on the Timer Digest has been fabulous, which you consistently do that. So, by golly, you certainly have the accolades for it. My goodness, I think it's terrific. We love having you on the show here. We have a question from one of our listeners, and that is, do you ever do any work on the FANG stocks like Facebook and Google and Amazon, things like that? Do you ever follow single stocks, or you just basically look at the indices? That was the question.
I'm more of an index kind of a guy. I look at the broad market. I look at the indices. It's what I trade. And generally, if you look at the FANG stocks, you'll see that they pretty much follow what the broad market is doing. I would be looking at those for signs of divergences. If the market's making a new high and one or more of those components is failing to be in the new high list, then the market rally might be maturing and getting a little tired. Other than that, that's about all I do with those individual issues, Larry.
Mm-hmm. Well, I know Apple is always, popular and stuff. One other question where someone's asking is, do you cover anything about money management in your letter?
Not so much in the letter, but my theory is this: to be successful in this business, you and I, all of us, have to master 3 sets of skills. And the first one is what I call either asset allocation or diversification, which is what most of the industry focuses on, and then they stop. But that's only one of 3 components. That's critical. Number 2, market timing, which most people in the industry say can't be done, but if they did, you and I would be out of a job. So yes, the markets can be timed, but perfection is not a prerequisite. If you've picked the right pony, you've done your market timing, you still have to add one more skill set, and that's risk management. And that is, let's say I think the market's going to go down, and I put on a short position, and it pops to the upside. Well, I've got to decide when to get out. And if so, how much? All of that goes in the sifter.
Hey, listen, thanks for joining us, my friend. We've posted your details on the site, so we hope to have you on again soon. And stay dry up there, buddy, and I hope to see you this spring sometime if I get up in that area.
Absolutely, Larry. Look forward to it. Thank you.
You bet. Stan Harley, folks, a Harley Stock Market Letter. We'll be right back.
And looking for a secure investment, the Tiger First Mortgage Program may work for you. The security for these first mortgages are building lots in the Tax Opportunity Zone in St. Petersburg, Florida. The Tax Act of 2018 set up tax-free zones across the country where you can build and hold for 10 years and pay no tax on the profits, which makes these lots valuable. The investment is anywhere from $30,000 to $75,000. The interest paid is 7% yearly, paid on a monthly basis. According to Bankrate.com, the best rate for a 4-year CD in the country as of February 20th is 3.1%. A $50,000 investment at a normal 4-year CD rate of 3.1% would give you income of $1,550 per year or $6,200 over the 4-year period. That same $50,000 investment in the Tiger First Mortgage Program would give you $3,500 per year or $14,000 over the 4 years. Which would you prefer, $6,200 or $14,000 of interest on your investment? If you would like more information about the Tiger First Mortgage Program, you can call me at 877-518-9190. That's 877-518-9190. The gold market has taken off topside in a large way in 2020. If you want to take advantage of this sector, now is the time to subscribe to my gold report. The gold report took profits in 4 of its equities in the gold portfolio in the first week of January for a combined profit of 99.2%, with 2 positions left in the portfolio that have a profit of 67.5% as of January 7th. The Gold Report is a comprehensive look at the metal sector as well as the markets that move gold, which is the currency and bond markets. New subscribers get a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to lose. Every Monday morning, I publish the Gold Report with coverage of gold, silver, bonds, the XAU, HUI, GDX, as well as more than 30 different mining equities. To see for yourself the types of profitable trades that are recommended within the Gold Report, sign up now by visiting TFNN.com. Don't miss out on the next great gold trade. Sign up today.
Will the S&P 500 continue to climb? For bold trades on U.S. large-cap stocks in either direction, trade SPXL, SPUU, or SPXS. Directions Daily S&P 500 Bull and Bear Leveraged ETFs. Direction Leveraged ETFs. An investor should carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risks, charges, and expenses before investing. A fund's prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a fund's prospectus and summary prospectus, call 866-476-7523 or visit directioninvestments.com. A fund's prospectus and summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
The Bull Bear Trading Hour with Tom and Tommy O'Brien. Next.
Okay, we're back, folks, and with one of our dear friends here at TFNN, please let me know what the wheat is trading at, please, the March wheat. I'm not able to do that while I'm on the show, so I'd like to know if the March wheat has held the 540 level. And that's all I'm interested in right now. If you have a chance to look at that, by the way, the British pound is still acting nicely. I think that we've got a chance here to do this. The euro still looks bad. It hasn't rallied at all. It's not doing very much at all. The dollar index still looks like it wants to go a whole lot higher. Let's get that up here one more time to remind ourselves that it has had a breakout and we are hitting higher, and we've already reached near the top of this one different things here. So all the grains are up. Okay, this is good. That's what we want to see. If they're going to be holding up, that's great. Hopefully all these things are happening over in China will be resolved. But boy, folks, it is really scary over there, because the stories that we see that are not in the news just really are very, very interesting to say the least. It's impossible to get masks over there, face masks, and you have to get the really good surgical ones. Otherwise, it doesn't do any good. So very, very serious. We see up to 45,000 cases. If you remember last week when it was around 17 or 18,000, Shane Smolian was on telling us it looked like it was going to be at 50,000 this week. Folks, it's Wednesday and we're at 45,000. It's almost a foregone conclusion. We're going to be at 50 by Friday. So we have to hats off to Shane on the way he looked at that graph, just exponentially looking like what the rate of this thing. And if that's going, we're looking at 75,000 is what he posted for, I think, towards the end of the month. That's only, 14 days ago. By the way, folks, don't forget now to take care of your loved ones on Valentine's Day, the 14th, Friday. Got to remember that. That's also, be sure to send some flowers to Michael Bloomberg, our future presidential candidate. That's his birthday. He will be 77 years old. Okay, let's move on to the next one, and we'll see. Someone's asked me a question about that story about the cowboy. Was it true? Well, of course it's true. Do you think the old cowboy would lead you down the primrose path? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. No fake news here at TFNN. We tell it like it is. We tell it like it is. is. And if you believe that, I still have 2 shares of the Brooklyn Bridge I'll be happy to part with if you'll send me $5 a share. Okay, let's move on. Another question that someone has asked about, and that is about the gold market, folks. I still believe that we've got a chance here to be bullish in gold. I just want to show you that we must hold above that 1554 level. We got as high as the 61% retracement yesterday at 1581. We backed off to 1566 last night. We're now trading around 1568. Any move below that is going to look very, very bearish. And if you look at the silver market, folks, it is just flat bearish. There's just no other way to look at the silver market. It just really has bearish implications. There isn't no doubt about it. I mean, look at this. We've got lower tops in here. I mean, it's just not a very bullish picture. And so this could all change in a heartbeat. With the 50, 60 cent up move in silver, that would change everything. But right now, it doesn't, doesn't really do that. We'll have to wait and see. Tucker's saying, isn't life grand? When I was young, you made 77. You were an old son of a gun. Now 77, you can still run for president and leave an active life. Hey, look at Bernie. I think Bernie is older than him. I think he's 78, isn't he? You know, if he does 2 terms, he'll be 106 or something like that? Well, how many would that be? He'd be into 92. I think Reagan started in his 70s, and the last 2 years of Reagan's administration, folks, it was not very well publicized, but he was 2 French fries short of a Happy Meal. You can see some of the things in the things. It was really stuff. We'll have to see. Yeah, Bernie's Trump is 72, I believe. He's the same age as, who's that, 72? I can't remember. Anyway, I believe Trump is 72. Yeah, okay. Let's move on to the next one. All these guys are young. What do you here I am sitting here, folks. I look at this. In fact, I was thinking of it yesterday. Sarah and I were running a few errands late in the afternoon, and I was thinking, look, it was raining like heck. It was just a beautiful day. The rainbow was coming over the mountain, and I was thinking, gosh, look at this. I'm running into 8 furlongs here pretty soon, and gosh, I've really had a great life. I've had very little illness, virtually nothing, but it's just really amazing. You see other people that I saw Bobby Knight, he's 79 years old. My God, he looks like he's 106. I don't know, maybe it's because, touch wood, I knock on my head every day, believe me, I certainly do. Biden looks pretty good for 77. Yes, he does, because he's had an easy life. He's never worked for a living. He's only been a senator, for heaven's sakes. That's a heck of a deal. All right. Someone's asking another question. Throwing chairs. He throws 1 chair. He threw 1 chair in all those years, Bill, and that's the one they remember him for. He did have a really bad temper. I don't know if you guys know this or not, but Bobby Knight's assistant coach during those years when he was in Indiana was Ron Felling. Ron Felling was from right near Terre Haute, Indiana, Raleigh, Indiana, and Ron was in my wedding party. And we were very good friends, and he went to Lawrenceville, Illinois to be a basketball coach where he was one of the best, and he had a player there. I can't remember his name, but he's the coach at Evansville College now, and he was so good that Bobby Knight said, if you can get this kid to come to Indiana, you can be my assistant coach, and he did, and I think he was with Bobby for about 17 or 18 years, and then Ron retired and moved to California. So either that's new here. Yeah, the dollar index is 98,707. That number is 9910. David, if it gets there, that's the one we'll be watching here. That'll be very, very interesting to watch. Now, remember, he did. I didn't remember that. Gator's saying that Bobby Knight used to smoke on the bench in the old days. I guess so. They did everything in the old days, Gator. It's not the same as any like we see it now. Remember, we're going to have Tim Bost on Friday for sure. And then tomorrow, who do I have here? Oh, tomorrow. That's the most important day of the week, folks. You got to listen to Basil's show. Basil has got the best doggone webinar you can possibly ask for. I mean, he's got all the historical stuff, beautiful charts. He does the cycle work very similar to Wyckoff, and I always wanted to ask Basil if that stuff is related to Wyckoff because the waves certainly look the same. Wyckoff didn't label them the same way, but the way that Basil does is real easy to see the waves. but it's interesting to see some of these things unfold as we look at them here today. So let's make sure you listen to Basil tomorrow. Sign up for that. It's worth every penny. It really is. He's one of the very best that we have here. Well, they're all good, but Basil has got the experience. It's really good. I wonder if we ever hear from Bud Rolfe anymore. I wonder how Bud's doing with his triplets. I always enjoyed his shows, and Basil taught everything. Well, I don't think so, Mr. Bill, because Wyckoff was a lot older than he lived in the 20s. And I don't think 1920s. So, and I know Basil is younger than me, and so we'll see. Anyway, I miss Bud too. Bud was he was very, very good. I liked it, and he wanted to be with those triplets. And can you believe that, having triplets? Shut the front door. I still think he's doing pretty good. I believe Tom talks to him once in a while, but I'm not sure of that. We're going to take a break here. We'll be right back. 877-927-6648.
I'm certain you are or strive to be one of the best at everything you do in life. It's the most common trait that we tigers and tigresses share. If you're looking to become the best of the best when it comes to managing your money, let me teach you to do what most wealth managers tell you can't be done, which is how to time the markets. I'm Steve Rhodes, author of Mastering Probability, and for the last 12 months, Timer Digest has been tracking my newsletter signals, which have earned me the ranking as the #1 market timer in the nation for the S&P 500 for the last 12, 6, and 3 months. Timer Digest also ranks me as the #1 market timer for gold as well. The fact is, markets can be timed, and I'll teach you the exact set of tools that I use that has transformed me into one of the best at what I do. Sign up for Mastering Probability today by clicking on the newsletter tab on the homepage of TFNN.com and get immediate access to workshops where I take you step by step how to use an extraordinary set of tools, as well as provide great market calls too. Sign up today.
If you haven't checked out the newsletters page of TFNN.com, what are you waiting for? All of the TFNN newsletters are informative, up-to-date, affordable, and a must-have for every trader looking to gain a competitive informational edge in today's markets. TFNN newsletters cover every aspect of the markets to offer you the very latest in market news. Plus, new subscribers get to test drive our newsletters risk-free for 30 days. From all aspects of the markets, including stocks, bonds, metals, commodities, and tech, there's a newsletter to fit your needs exclusively from TFNN. Stay informed each day you trade and get that competitive edge that will help you stay ahead of the game. Visit our newsletters page by going to TFNN.com and click the newsletters button near the top of the page. TFNN.com, educating investors.
Basil Chapman will be hosting a 90-minute live webinar for subscribers to his daily trading service, The Opening Call, Thursday, February 13th from 4 till 5:30 p.m. Basil will host his live webinar titled The Dark Cloud Cover, an Essential Market Analysis. In this 90-minute webinar, Basil will discuss the techniques he uses when identifying market downturns using his Chapman wave, including how he uses specific ETFs like the SMH Semiconductor ETF as a canary in the coal mine leading indicator when looking for market downturns. By identifying particular weaknesses in the market technicals, Basil is able to identify the severity of the market reaction, and this is just one of many topics he'll be covering. To sign up now for the opening call, visit the front page of TFNN.com. Don't miss out on this special 90-minute live webinar with Basil Chapman, Thursday, February 13th. Sign up today.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Okay, folks, I posted the artificial intelligence forecast for today with the British pound. As you notice, we're setting right over what should be a low in the British pound. Now, the $64 question is it going to be a low? All I know is that if it's not higher in the next 10 minutes, that this is probably wrong. So what it does is it gives you a window, and believe me, it's a short window, and the odds of it working is only about 70%, but I'll take those odds, and I'll also take the fact that I only have to risk about $100 to trade one of the most active currencies in the world. So it's trading at 29.56 right now. At 29, let's say 29.49, I would say this would be wrong. You would be out with a $100 loss and move on. You notice that the next time to look at would be right around noon. So that means that the market should rally for 2 hours. And if it does, when it gets to that point, two things is going to happen. It's either going to change direction at that point, or it's going to accelerate to the upside, because this is all related to time. It has absolutely nothing to do with price. Zero. So you have to look at it as far as a time vibration, because that's what it is. It has nothing to do with price. I just see that the bonds are starting to sell off again, and we just had a 40-point drop in the NASDAQ, folks. We went from a new high at 96.05 to 95.60 in a matter of 16 minutes. I just had the alert pop up there, so that's going to be a really interesting one to pay very close attention to. It's very, very exciting to watch these markets jump around as we are having them do today, that's for sure. We only had about a 7-point drop in the S&P, which is nothing compared with the NASDAQ did. So that's going to be a very interesting one to watch as we go through today. We got the crude oil had a high of 51.75. We're trading at 51.40. So that'll be another interesting one to see how it unfolds for the rest of the day. There's a big ABCD 78% level up there at 51.70. So that should be the high of the day in the crude oil, I would think, as we approach these markets today to watch them anyway. I hope that helps. We'll be watching you for tomorrow, and it'll always be an exciting day, of course. And remember, Tim Boston on Friday. Don't miss the Black Cloud cover by Basil on Thursday. Cannot miss it.